Let's go, Broncos. We have some big news to share, some good, some not so good. We need to talk about the NFL draft and 3 players on Sean Payton's list, including former Ravens and Steelers linebacker Patrick Queen. But before we get into that, hit the like button if you believe Sean Payton is doing a great job with the Broncos. And if you're feeling confident, drop a comment saying, "Go Broncos." We're making it to the Super Bowl in 2025. I say this because I truly believe we can do it. Now, let's dive in. The Denver Broncos are facing a major challenge as they prepare for the NFL Draft. With the 20th overall pick, the team has some big holes to fill, especially at running back and tight end. Coach Sean Payton has made it clear these positions are must-haves for the team. The problem? By the time the Broncos get to pick, the best players in those positions might already be gone. During an interview with Kay Adams on Radio Row at the Super Bowl, Payton spoke about the team's needs. Broncos fans already know Denver needs playmakers. And Payton has one key focus. He wants elite receivers at both running back and tight end. But given their draft position, getting those top talents won't be easy. At tight end, 2 of the biggest names in the draft are Tyler Warren and Colston Loveland. So, what's the plan? Can the Broncos land a game-changing player? Stay tuned, we'll break it all down. It looks like Tyler Warren is out of reach for the Broncos at pick 20. Multiple reports from the Shrine Bowl and other scouting experts agree. He'll likely be gone before Denver gets a chance. Colston Loveland, however, might still be available. But does he really fit Sean Payton's vision for the offense? Loveland is an excellent receiving tight end, but his blocking skills are a concern. Still, based on what Payton has said, Loveland could be a great fit in Denver's system. Now, things get even trickier at running back. The top prospect, Ashton Jeanty, is almost guaranteed to be picked before the Broncos are on the clock. Scouts and analysts love him, and the chances of him dropping to 20 are nearly 0. So, what does Denver do? They might have to look at later rounds for a solid running back. Some names to watch include Devin Neal, Kansas; Cam Skidabo, Jackery Croce Merritt, Arizona. A rising star who's getting attention from Broncos fans. Of course, the draft isn't the only option. Denver could use free agency to grab key players before the draft. That way, they wouldn't have to reach for a certain position and could simply take the best player available. So, what's the smartest move for the Broncos? Stick to the draft or make a splash in free agency? Let's discuss. The Broncos have some big decisions to make, and free agency could be a game changer. One potential target is running back Najee Harris, a powerful runner who could bring strength to Denver's offense. Another name is tight end Juwan Johnson, who already has a connection with Sean Payton from their time together in New Orleans. But what about Aaron Jones? He's a talented running back, but concerns about his age and injuries make him a riskier choice. Another idea floating around is trading for David Njoku, a top-tier tight end. The problem? Trades cost assets, and Denver may not want to give up too much. If the Broncos can fill these gaps in free agency, it will give them a huge advantage in the draft. That way, if players like Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland, or Ashton Jeanty unexpectedly fall to them at pick 20, they can grab them without hesitation. If Denver decides to wait until the later rounds for a tight end, there are still solid options. Elijah Arroyo Rivaldo, Fairweather Terrence Ferguson, a local talent who played at Oregon with Bo Nix and grew up in Denver. Luke Lakey, Iowa, a standout performer at the Shrine Bowl. The bottom line? The Broncos need elite playmakers at running back and tight end, but those players might be gone by pick 20. That's why free agency is so important this offseason. If Denver can lock in key players before the draft, they'll have the freedom to take the best player available instead of reaching out of desperation. So, Broncos fans, what do you think? Should Denver go all in on free agency, or should they stick to the draft to fill these needs? Let's talk. Football on Fire. Should the Broncos take a risk and hope a top prospect falls to them at pick 20? Or should they play it safe and go all in on free agency? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Now, let's switch gears. The Broncos have a big problem at inside linebacker, ILB. With Cody Barton, Justin Sternad, and Zach Cunningham set to become free agents in March, Denver has only 3 inside linebackers under contract for 2025, and each one comes with major questions. So, who will lead the middle of the Broncos' defense next season? The most experienced linebacker under contract is Alex Singleton. At 31 years old, he's been one of Denver's top defenders, but his future is uncertain. He's recovering from a torn ACL, which is a serious injury, and nobody knows if he'll return to top form. There's also a financial issue. Singleton's contract carries a $6.9 million cap hit in 2025, but if Denver cuts him, they save $5.58 million. That makes him a prime candidate for either a pay cut or release. Even if he stays, can he still play at a high level after his injury? Or will Denver see a major decline? The second ILB under contract is Drew Sanders, but his role is still unclear. The Broncos drafted him in 2023, expecting him to play as both an inside linebacker and an edge rusher. But after returning from injury in 2024, he barely played, just 18 defensive snaps in 4 games. Can he become a full-time starter in 2025? Right now, nobody knows. The third linebacker under contract is K.J. Cloyd. He signed a reserve future deal in January after spending 2024 on the practice squad. While Cloyd has potential, he's most likely to be a backup and a key special teams player rather than a full-time starter. The bottom line? The Broncos have big question marks at inside linebacker, and they need answers fast. So, what's the solution? Should Denver restructure Singleton's contract, give Sanders a bigger role, or look for new talent in free agency or the draft? Let me know what you think, Broncos fans. Counting on unproven players at inside linebacker is a huge gamble. The Broncos need at least one solid starter this offseason, maybe even 2. Even if they bring back Cody Barton, who played a big role in 2024, Denver still needs more talent and depth. So, how will the Broncos fix this problem? They have 2 main options: sign a linebacker in free agency, find one in the draft. Free agency. There are some big names potentially hitting the market, but top linebackers won't come cheap. Some of the best options include Patrick Queen, Devin White, Willie Gay Jr. However, the Broncos have other big needs, so spending too much on a linebacker could be a challenge. NFL Draft. If Denver looks to the 2025 draft, there are some promising prospects, but not many guaranteed stars. Some names to watch: Junior Colson, Michigan; Edgerrin Cooper, Texas A&M; Jeremiah Trotter Jr., Clemson. The biggest challenge? Finding a rookie who can start right away. The Broncos don't have time for a long-term project. They need an impact player now. One thing is 100% certain: the Broncos cannot go into 2025 without a strong inside linebacker. The team already has too many question marks, and ILB is a key position that holds the defense together. Broncos country, what do you think? Should Denver pay big for a free agent or take a shot in the draft? Drop your thoughts in the comments.